Thank you for joining us. We are looking at linear motion, Form 2 mathematics. Question we have reads, a bus left Mombasa and traveled towards Nairobi at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. After 2.5 hours, a car left Mombasa and traveled along the same road at an average speed of 100 kilometers per hour. If the distance between Mombasa and Nairobi is 500, determine the distance of the bus from Nairobi when the car took off to max. First thing we are going to do is to have a sketch. We have Nairobi. We also have Mombasa. We have been told the distance between Nairobi and Mombasa is 500 kilometers. We have a bus leaving Mombasa and moving towards Nairobi at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. 2.5 hours later, we have a car leaving Mombasa, moving at a higher speed of 100 kilometers per hour. So we are supposed to calculate the distance of the bus from Nairobi when the car took off. The first thing we do, we have to calculate the distance of the bus for 2.5 hours. And we know distance is given by speed times time. So in this case, the speed we are going to use is that of the bus, which is 60 kilometers per hour. We multiply by the time, which is 2.5 converted into improper fraction, becomes 5 out of 2. If you simplify, 2 goes to itself once it goes to 60 30 times. 30 times 5, you get 150 kilometers. That means the bus has covered 150 kilometers when the car starts. But we are supposed to calculate the distance from Nairobi. So distance from Nairobi is going to be total 500 minus the distance already covered of 150. And this one gives us 350 kilometers. We move to Roman 2, the distance the car traveled to catch up with the bus. In this case now, we need to know the distance between the two vehicles, and the distance apart is actually 150 kilometers. That is the distance between the car and the bus. From there, we also need to know the relative speed of the two vehicles. Remember, they are moving in the same direction, and therefore to get the relative speed, we find the difference between the individual speeds. That is 100 minus 60, giving us 40 kilometers. So in this case, to find the distance, we must first get the time taken to catch up. Time taken to catch up is given by distance between them, or what we call distance apart. We divide by what we call relative speed. In this case, the distance between them is 150 kilometers divided by the relative speed, which is 40, and this gives us exactly 3.75 hours. So what is the question asking? The distance car traveled, and in this case now to get the distance, we take the speed of the car, which is 100, we multiply by the total time taken to catch up of 3.75, and this one gives us 375 kilometers. Remember to subscribe and also share the link with the rest. B, immediately the car caught up with the bus, The car stopped for 25 minutes. The new average speed at which, so we are supposed to find the new average speed at which the car traveled in order to reach Nairobi at the same time with the bus. This part has 4 marks, and we are going to work out this way. This is Mombasa and this is Nairobi. Already, the total distance covered by the time the car is catching up with the bus is 375 kilometers, meaning the distance remaining to be covered is 125 kilometers. But we have been told immediately the car caught up with the bus, it stopped for 25 minutes. So we need to calculate the distance covered by bus for 25 minutes. How do we find the distance? Distance is usually given by speed times time. Speed of the bus is 60 kilometers. We multiply by time, which is 25 minutes. Converted into hours, it becomes 25 out of 60. And this one gives us 25 kilometers. That means the bus has already covered 25 kilometers, meaning the distance to be covered by the bus after 25 minutes will be 100 kilometers. From here now, we can calculate the time taken by bus to reach Nairobi. The time taken will be given by distance over speed, and the distance to be covered by the bus is 100 divided by the speed, which is 60. When you simplify this, it comes down to 5 out of 3 hours. Once we have the common time, it means this is the same time that the car is supposed to take between this point and Nairobi. But remember, the car has to cover a distance of 125 kilometers, but within the same time of 5 over 3 hours. So at this point, we are able to get the new speed of the car. So we can say let new speed be x kilometers per hour. So if you take the distance to be covered by the car, which is 125, divided by the new average speed, it must take exactly 5 over 3 hours. Q cross multiply 5 times x will give us 5x, being equal to 125 times 3 will give us 375. So if 5x is equals to 375, to get the value of x, we divide both sides by 5, and this gives us 75 kilometers per hour as the average or the new average speed of the car. Thank you for watching and welcome to our discussions. And in case you are watching this channel for the first time, please take a second or two, click the subscribe button so that anytime we publish a video like this, you will automatically be given a notification.